Hey everyone, it's Mike Andes. I'm out in Palm Springs today. I'll show you a little bit around where I'm at. Look at this place on Airbnb. It's just a gorgeous place here. And what's great is there's no one here. I'll show you around a little bit, but I wanted to hop on here, kind of the first video of content I've made since Landscape Summit 2020, which we had last weekend in Bellingham, Washington. Show you around here real quick. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. So I've been here for the past few days. Finished out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Last week was Landscape Summit 2020, and then I flew out here first thing Sunday morning and just kind of get away, refresh, relax, get my voice back, and also just get a lot of things done that I've been pushing off over the past couple weeks. And so done some really cool stuff the past couple days, really just working here from this resort here. I think literally I paid $70 a night at this resort here, and it's kind of like a community out next to Coachella, but there's like no one here because it's the middle of winter, and so you got like hammocks and the whole bit, just completely deserted. So it's been really, really nice just to kind of get away, relax, get some sunshine, because right now in the Pacific Northwest we aren't getting no sunshine, that's for sure. Just finished a snowstorm. But I want to jump on here, say thank you to everyone that did come to the summit, and kind of recap also kind of some of the things we talked about for those of you who were not able to make it. So Thursday night when we first started at the summit, I wanted to make sure we talked about something that was really important to me, and that was kind of setting the tone for the entire weekend and what we were going to be talking about, and really getting the mindset of everyone that was in attendance on the right page. And so we talked about cognitive tunnels and mind blocks. And it's something that I feel is really important to establish before we even got the weekend started, was what's holding you back in your own mind. And so often we can think about, like, whether it be hiring issues or economic issues or things happening in your marketing or whatever. And, we kind of put blame on those things for why we aren't growing, why we, can't find anyone to grow our business. We can't find that right one strategy, that one thing, when a lot of times it's our mind and our cognitive tunneling that really creates that block for us. And so some of the examples we talked about, one was a Nodo. This gentleman was actually in the military for Japan in World War II. And he was deployed out on a Philippine island and basically told by his commanders to not to give up, and that they would come back and get them when they were done. And what happened is, obviously Japan lost the war after Hiroshima and the atomic bombs and everything. Well, they obviously forfeited, the war was over, but for 29 years after the war was over, Onoda was on this island by himself, fighting, hiding. He killed 30 innocent civilians, and for 29 years before finally they were able to get in contact with him and able to actually bring his commander from Japan and have him formally release him from duty. And it was just an incredible story, and I kind of felt like split two different ways for Nodo. One was just, the amount of courage and valor and loyalty that he had to his commander and to his country and everything that they stood for. But on the other hand, I also have there was so much wasted time, like 29 years of fighting a war that didn't even exist. And in that time, he killed 30 people. And what I talked about that first night is really his cognitive tunnel was that Japan would never give up. And yet they did, because they wanted to preserve life, they wanted to preserve liberty, they wanted to keep their country free, keep it from all the disaster of war. And so for 29 years he fought that battle. He killed 30 people. I was thinking about how even as business owners or as entrepreneurs, we can get so almost like a martyr, just like put our head down, grind, push, do whatever we can, work more hours, put in the time, grind, hustle, whatever it takes, all that good stuff, which is usually a positive thing. But I feel like sometimes we just do that without ever realizing that there we're just creating a cognitive tunnel in our mind of that's the way it has to be. We have to keep working. We have to keep doing this. When really there's an easier way. Like Anoda didn't have to waste years of his life. He probably missed his children growing up, his grandchildren even at that point. And I think as business owners, sometimes we miss out on these important parts of our life because we have this cognitive tunnel of how we think it should be, or that we just got to grind and hustle and keep doing what we've always done. And really, the sad thing about the story is the casualties that were created from Anoda, 30 innocent civilians that he killed in order to continue to eat and he still thought he was in a war. He still thought he was a part of the military. And so I think sometimes as business owners, we get in that mindset of just like, we just gotta work harder. We just gotta keep grinding. When really, is there a different mentality that we need to be having that's easier, that's gonna give us a better quality of life and things like that? So I talked about that the first night, cognitive tunneling. We also talked about a pilot, Air France flight that basically killed everyone on the plane and went, within 3 minutes, went from 37,000 feet above the ocean, flying from Brazil to Paris. And 3 minutes later is at the bottom of the ocean, wrecked this plane that was brand spanking new, sophisticated technology, very automated. And he did it because he had cognitive tunnels. He heard one alert, which was stall. And when he heard that stall warning, immediately he thought that he needed to pull up on the stick and they needed to increase the thrust, when that was exactly the opposite thing he should be doing. But because he had a cognitive tunnel of, when I hear that alert, I've been trained to do this, it led to the absolute devastation of that entire plane within a matter of minutes. And literally when they listen to the black boxes, they hear the other pilots literally talking and asking, like, are you, telling them exactly what he needs to be doing. Nothing on his instrument board went wrong. Nothing with the altitude or the speed. All the instruments were working just fine, and yet his cognitive tunnel created this massive calamity. I think sometimes in our business it's the same way. Like, all the information is in front of us, and yet because we have a cognitive tunnel, the way we've always done it, or the way we've been trained, or like our immediate response or our instinctive response in times of emergency, can create just a whole lot of havoc in our businesses and our life. I also gave an example of Yom Kippur War and how literally a war almost decimated Israel in a matter of 2 weeks because the general and the military leaders had a cognitive tunnel that prevented them from reacting to the risks and the threats of Syria and Egypt that were literally gathering hundreds of thousands of troops and bridge building materials and equipment and tanks all along their border. And yet they had this cognitive tunnel of what they should be doing, and that they should just try to be protecting the public, and they shouldn't get people all alerted or worried. And somehow that blocked them from making the right decision, and literally as a matter of 2 weeks almost wiped out Israel in October 1974 on Yom Kippur, which is a holy day for them. And just thinking about those things, that was Thursday night. That set up the entire weekend because we were talking about things in their business that really had to take a whole different perspective, like pay for performance instead of hourly. I'll show you here. Beautiful place out here. You can see there's like no one here. It's great. I wanted to set them up on Thursday night to really get a whole different perspective on their business and be willing to challenge the things they've always been doing and challenge the mind blocks that we create. Because what happens is people know they need to change from hourly to pay for performance. So they know that they need to make a change in their business and start delegating. They know that they can't continue to work 100 hours a week and yet have a decent family life or cognitively and emotionally stay stable. They know that. And yet the cognitive tunnels they've built disallow them from ever achieving or changing their course of action. And so those are some of the things we talked about Thursday, set up for an incredible weekend. of really challenging a lot of the different ways that we look at our business, the way that we delegate, look at our team, our culture, the way that we hire, and how can we step out of the business on a day-to-day operational level. What are the cognitive tunnels that are going to prevent that from happening? And so like when you think about a tunnel, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's dark in a tunnel." It is. And inside of a tunnel, we talked about on Thursday, you can't grow a plant because there's two things lacking. Number one, sunlight, and number two, no rain. And so you can't grow a plant, can't photosynthesize. And you can't, I talked about, you can't grow a business. You can't grow a business inside of a cognitive tunnel. If you have certain things in your mind that you've built up that keep you from seeing everything else the way it ought to be, it'll keep your business from growing because you don't have the perspective, the sunlight, and you don't have the resources, the rain. You can't grow your business inside of a cognitive tunnel. And you're like, well, no, I'm chasing the light at the end of the tunnel and there's always something I'm trying to go for. When in reality, there's light all around you. Like if you look at yourself in a tunnel, you say, well, I have a cognitive tunnel. There's something blocking me from achieving what I'm kind of set here to do. If you say that and you recognize that, it's not that light, say it's dark inside of a tunnel, I can't build my business because I don't have the sunlight. But if you're inside of a tunnel, it's not that light's not around you, it's that you built the tunnel. Like it's not the absence of light that makes it dark inside of a tunnel, it's the presence of a tunnel. So instead of trying to get wrapped up around the fact that you don't have the resources or you don't have the perspective to create your business of your dreams, is you really need to detonate. This is what we talked about Thursday. Detonate the cognitive tunnels that are preventing you from growing your business, that are keeping you from seeing the light and the opportunity all around, even as I step out into this kind of opening here. If you're in that tunnel and you're looking, when you're in a tunnel and you're going after the light, you really are looking way off and you're looking at that one little thing, that one little bit of light, when really all around you is light. You just built up a tunnel in your mind. You can't see it, and prevents resources and things from flowing in your way, your direction. This is just gorgeous here. Look at this. It's fantastic. Not a single person. This is the time to come to Palm Springs, I guess. But it was an amazing event. We talked a lot about pay for performance for the landscaping industry. Talked a lot about project management videos, how to get out of day-to-day operations, how to delegate to your team. And it was a great weekend. So thank you all so much that we were able to make it out. I learned so much even in the weekend too. So we were teaching pay for performance and we sold 5 more franchises on the Saturday night of the conference. And so, which by the way, if you want to join the franchise, February 14th, 15th, and 16th is going to be our next franchisee training. You come here for 3 days, not here, come to Bellingham for 3 days. And so we'll get our next group of 10 franchisees in February. And after this weekend, I took the plunge on, we're developing P4P System.com version 2, which is going to be a fully integrated software solution for your payroll based completely on pay for performance for the landscaping industry. It's gonna make a huge difference. No more Excel, no more manual entry for P4P. So this is a gorgeous place out here, my goodness. Just really thankful for this opportunity even to get away out here, Like really this is the result, being out here is the result of the stuff we talked about last week. It's a testament to everything that we discussed at the Landscape Summit. I'm out here, we just did a big acquisition back home. The team's amazing, they're going to take care of things, but it took a lot of hard work to delegate and let things go and realize that you're not the best at every single aspect of the business. And that's not easy to say, it's not easy to kind of come to grips with, but it's exactly what we talked about at the conference. The reason I'm here today in Palm Springs is a culmination of everything we talked about at Landscape Summit. Delegation, P4P, allowing other people to take roles within the company, doing project management videos so you don't have to go back and check up on jobs, doing the yellow slip system. All those things are really a testament to why I can even be here. And so I'm very appreciative for the team I got back home and very appreciative for kind of this time away and thinking about what the businesses need to look like. And like literally this weekend, I've been able to get a lot done. Like we grew into Canada, so we're now franchising the company, Augusta Lawn Care, up in Canada. So if you're Canadian, you've been waiting, you can now do it. Really looking forward to that. We pulled the trigger on that. We also did the P4P system version 2, hiring a company out of Kentucky to build that whole software system for us, so a mobile app, as well as a web app that's going to automatically do your daily metrics based upon P4P. Our goal is 30 seconds or less per employee to get the P4P calculations. And then it'll automatically give notifications to the employee on what they made in their production, what their daily dollar amount that they earned using P4P was. And so we did that. We're getting ready for a big food show that's going to be in March for ketosiscups.com. Some other stuff we did this past weekend. Just been really getting a lot of stuff done, and I'm really appreciative of everyone that came to the summit. But I just want to check in and say thank you to everyone that showed up. Hope to see you guys there next year. But again, if you guys want to join the franchise, February 14th, 15th, and 16th, just go to AugustaLawnCareServices.com/franchise and you can take advantage of the command center, P4Psystem.com, the stuff that we're building there. And I really look forward to the future. So hope you all have a great rest of your week, a great 2020, and really start to implement a lot of the things that we talked about Landscape Summit. Have a great evening. Take care. Thanks so much.